Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 82 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crocheting podcast brought to me by Vivian, Vivian, and my daughter Alyson. I'm coming at you from Tennessee.
And I'm recording from Scotland. Hi, everyone. Despite my...
We're just going to keep that.
Yeah. I think you said brought to me by...
Brought to, whatever.
Brought
People
to me
think,
by
yeah.
me, Vivian.
Even though the words are right there in front of my face.
Hello.
All right. Well, our regular listeners / viewers know that I always mess up half the time, so that's fine.
Well, they might not know that because we normally cut out the ones that you mess up.
Well, yeah. Well, then we talk about how many times it took
True.
us.
True. Well, it's April now. Can you believe it?
Yes, it is April. So spring has sprung, except it got really cold. It was snowing. Like just flurries. Nothing was sticking, but it was snowing. And it was very cold last night. The lows were in the 20s.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and the window in our bedroom doesn't close all the way. Like you close it, you lock it, and you think it's locked, but then you can still open it. So there's always air leaking. And I actually had my big blanket, and then I had something over my face. It was cold.
Yeah, it was a little bit cold here too.
Yeah, but you live in Scotland. I live in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, it we had a few days of good, nice, sunny weather. And that's taken a little bit of a turn.
Good.
I've got my cup of peppermint tea.
Good job.
To keep me
I'm
warm.
wearing short sleeves.
Yeah, and I'm in my sweater.
It's warm now. I mean, it's warm enough for short sleeves in the apartment.
Will we do a BuzzFeed quiz?
Okay.
Jump
Yes,
right in.
and you picked this one.
Yeah, I finally picked one. Didn't just put it on you. Well, I figured. I specifically looked for a Bridgerton's quiz because I knew that you had already watched it because you told me while you were binging it, and you also texted me, "Oh my god, I need to stop," and then you didn't stop, and then you finished it all.
I know. I binged it in about 24 hours, less than 24 hours. I finished. I watched a couple. I wanted to watch it when it first came out, but I was too busy getting ready to move. And plus, your dad was home, and he doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he was always watching TV, so I was like, okay, I'll just wait. And so, yeah, I finally got around to watching it, and I watched 2 episodes one night after he went to bed, and then he went to work the next day, and then I watched the other 6, like back to back to back. I even stopped because my internet went down for a few hours. I still managed to finish it before your dad got home.
I mean, it's not a lot of episodes, so there is that. And I binged them in a couple days as well, I think. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's a Netflix show. It's based off of a romance novel series, but it's very... It has a very diverse cast, even though it's supposed to be set in sort of, high society... Regency era.
Regency? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And it's very people are calling it soft porn.
I mean that's kind of what those novels are. If I'm being, because those kind of historical romance novels, those are my guilty pleasure. Like, I don't read any other romance novels unless it's Regency era. I don't know why. Those are the only ones I read. And I mean, I think they can kind of be put into 2 different categories of one where there is no sex because, they're not married and it's whatever morals. And then there's another kind,
which is... no.
Yeah.
She's pregnant.
Yeah. And then there's another sort of category of that sort of historical romance novel where there is sex. And so I pretty much always read the one, the latter. So I don't care if it's not realistic, And it's often like she's secretly an engineer and has built these ships under a man's name, and he's a spy, and I don't. They're just kind of ridiculous premises, but I love them.
That's funny.
Anyway,
well, Bridgerton is definitely, yeah, it was good. The cast was very good.
Yeah.
And it's a colorblind casting. That's what people were calling it.
Yeah, well, I don't even know that. I think it was. I don't even know that it was colorblind because, like, the main male lead, so he's obviously black, but like his whole family is
black.
Yeah. It's been a little while since I watched it, and so it's like, I feel like if it was truly colorblind, then it would just be like a mix of, the Cinderella with Brandy in it. Yeah, that like, it would be like that with Cinderella.
I just watched that recently too.
I just watched an episode of House maybe, and Brandy was. I was like, that's Brandy, and I'm like, I only know her from Cinderella.
I really love that movie.
Anyway, I feel like this chat belongs in Nerdtastic.
This was our Nerdtastic.
Yeah, a little Nerdtastic chat. Anyways, so the quiz I picked was time to find out which vastly underrated Bridgerton woman is your personality twin. So I picked this one because it was slightly on the shorter side, so it was easier to go through. But I got Marina Thompson. You're a free spirit who always goes with the flow. One of your best qualities is that you often follow your heart, which is a lesson we could all do well to learn from. You're very enchanting and often draw people in with both your personality, intelligence, and beauty. They just can't help but want to know more about you.
It's been a while since we got the same result.
Is that what you got as well?
Got the same thing.
Yes. But yeah, so she's the one who's pregnant. Is that a spoiler? Maybe, but I feel like because
it's been out since what, December?
Maybe,
November.
Yeah. So
I think November.
In any case, I think if you had just told me her name without describing who it was, I'd be like, I don't remember which character that was because there's so many characters. But she's staying with the Featherdowns.
The feathering.
Bridgertons and feather. They're not
feathering
both.
Something. Featheringvilles. Feathering something. It's.
Let's see, Bridgerton.
It was a mouthful. Whatever it was.
Maybe it was Featherington.
It was Featherington.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, what color did you pick as your favorite?
Well, of course, I picked blue, even though that's not my favorite blue. Because blue is my favorite color. It's kind of like a muted type of blue, but I picked it anyway.
Yeah, I went for the blue as well because I mean, if you go by the text, it's just red, purple, blue, pink, yellow, green. So yeah. And then your zodiac sign, you are a Leo?
Cancer.
Oh, Cancer.
Cancer. I don't know what you are.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get yelled at when because I don't know my children's zodiac signs.
Yeah, but that requires. Yeah, no, I. And then you come back with I know what their Chinese zodiac is.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Let's see. Wait. Do I know you're a sheep? Daddy's a dragon.
Yes.
Is Madeline also a dragon, or she's a snake? Jillian's a mouse. I'm a horse. Emily's a chicken.
Yeah, you just told everybody what year we were born. They could figure it out. Or they can be off by 12 years.
Anyway, what did you pick for your best subject out of math, history, music, drama, debate, or creative writing?
Well, it's definitely not debate. It was creative writing. Did you pick math?
I picked math, yeah.
Because that was your best subject.
That was my best subject, yeah.
I was horrible at math.
I
was not good.
A year of college level calculus when I was in my junior year. Yeah, 11th grade.
Definitely get your math brains from your dad, because I can barely add.
I mean, I need a calculator to add, let's be honest. What about your ice cream flavor?
Double chocolate fudge. That was the only chocolate option. Well, other than chocolate.
Do you know what I picked?
Dough, so. You picked chocolate chip cookie dough.
No.
No? Mint chocolate chip.
Yes. Even though the picture looks more like it's probably pistachio because there's no chips in it.
Yeah.
I do like pistachio ice cream too.
I don't know that I've ever actually had pistachio ice cream, so I can't. Because the green always turned me off. Like when I was little, like green ice cream. No, thank you.
And then what was your go-to adult beverage?
A margarita.
So I thought it was an interesting combination. Tequila shot, martini, champagne, Bellini, margarita, or red wine. And I none of them would be my go-to, so I went with the martini because it's got gin in it. So if there was a G&T or beer, I would have gone for them.
Oh yeah, there's no beer. I picked margarita because I like the colors and that little coaster thingy. I probably drink out of them red wine more than anything else. A Bellini is peach schnapps? Is that in something? Is that what it is? A Bellini? I don't know. I'm not very good at
That's just peach and champagne or prosecco. Like,
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm getting it confused with the mimosa. Mimosa is champagne and orange juice.
Okay, we're both Marina Thompson, but neither of us got pregnant before we got married. So
I mean, that wasn't part of her personality, though. We're very enchanting, okay?
Oh, yes, we are. We're so enchanting.
Radio. So, crafty content.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got a little distracted because I was looking at other stuff. I have the same FO. No, same whips. I have the same whips. You have the same whips. You have the same whip. But, so my Lovage Sweater is what I'm doing for our Archive KCAL, which goes on until the last day of this month, right? 30th of April. And I'm finished with the body.
Ooh. Oh, all color work? Wow. I mean, that is a beautiful sweater.
So a couple of them are from, like, some of the color work stripes, panels, whatever you want to call them, are from that pencil case I told you about. That's also a Marie Wallen, but it's a free. And in the screen, this part, there's a green and yellow bit. It just looks all green. You can barely see the.
I can see it.
They just kind of mush together.
But yeah, so which is the last one?
They look.
That's actually in the pattern.
There's like a pink. It's almost like an argyle.
No. I mean, like the actual Lovage pattern. The color work only goes down to.
That goes to where this big like a star. Almost.
Oh, so that's the last of it, and then it's just plain.
That's
supposed to be.
Yeah, and it's really weird because I'm gonna have to step over here. So the star bit is like the biggest band, the highest, tallest band of color work.
Yeah.
That's the first color work section. But if I follow the pattern, it would have looked really weird because it's all the way down. It's all the way down under. It's like across my stomach.
Like just under your boobs.
Like, well, not just under my boobs, but
a bit more.
But it's across my stomach. So I thought that would have been a weird place to start. So anyway, yeah.
Is that just because you're short?
It's probably because I'm short.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that I continued color work all the way down. It looks, when I hold it, because it is it's got a lot of positive ease. It looks like a crop sweater when I hold it out, like when I'm not actually wearing it.
Yeah.
But once I put it on, it's like, oh no, it's not a crop sweater. It's not a very long sweater.
So is every like stripe of color work like different, like nothing's repeated?
No, there's definitely
There's
repeats. Well, because I repeated it down here, but the original pattern in the yoke, there's no repeats.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see a repeat of the like the V and then the upside down V's.
The X's.
Yeah, the
X's.
X's.
Like X's.
X's and
yeah,
O's.
this. But I did them in different colors, but they're kind of close. One is a turquoise, one is a blue. Mm-hmm. So they look very similar, even though I swapped out the colors. The inside, I definitely swapped out.
Yeah, the bottom one's got the light pink. And oh, it's so good.
So I'm really happy.
So does that mean you have to start the sleeves?
I did start the sleeve. Not that much. It's only been one short band. One little tiny little short band of color work right here. Because I thought if I did the sleeves just plain, it would have looked weird. Yeah,
probably.
But I also considered doing stripes on the sleeves, like you were talking about, but stripes on the body. That wouldn't look too bad.
Yeah, I think you just gotta carry on the color work.
I'm going to carry on, and I'll be able to do the decreases in between the color work bands, because there's just regular stockinette in one color, stripes of stockinette in one color.
Are your arms generally longer than the body of the sweater though?
Yeah.
So does that mean you have to make up more color work at the bottom of the sleeves?
I think I would just do like a long cuff.
Yeah, okay.
That way I could do more color work, but it's going to be a lot of putting it on and looking at it and putting it on and looking at it. But you know what I probably should have? I probably should have blocked it first before I started the sleeve. I could still do that. I can still block it with the needles in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's that. I'm pretty excited about that. And my Sagitta, my modified Sagitta, I got quite a bit of the...
Oh, it's gray.
The charcoal colored lacy bit. Mm-hmm. It starts over here.
So how much?
I'm going to continue for...
How much longer?
It's only this much longer than it was last time, I guess. What is that, 10 inches? 8 inches? Something like that. I'm just going to continue doing maybe another repeat of the lace, and then I'm going to do the garter stitch cabley bits, whatever
on the end.
Call that. In the gray, on the very end. So that should, if I work on this, it'll be done the next episode. Mm-hmm. Unless I only work on my lovage. So that's all I have to report.
I feel like I have even less to report because last time I did talk about my blurred lines. This time I haven't really done much on it. What I have done is started the sleeves for the 373 cardigan. I haven't talked about it yet, have I?
You haven't? What do you mean? The what?
The sleeves for this cardigan?
Oh, the sleeves. No, I'm sorry. No, you haven't talked about the
I think I did mention how the actual pattern says to go down a hook size for part of the sleeve to do the decreases, but I wasn't going to do that. So...
Of course not.
Yeah. What I have done is, so this is the chart, and you can see I've sort of blacked out how I'm going to do the decreases.
How
and
you
then
do the sleeves.
Yeah. And then I blacked out again here because the chart's only so high. So I'm going from this up and then, this again. And so
you could have just printed out a bunch and then just...
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't because I'm lazy. Because my Mac won't print to the printer because the printer's so old. So I have to email something to myself and then pick it up on a PC and then print it from there. And I'm just too lazy to do that. So...
Wait, didn't you get a new bag?
No, it's because the printer's so old. It doesn't have a have drivers for.
It doesn't have a driver.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to get a Wi-Fi printer then.
Yeah, no, yeah. But the printer works, so you can see. Can you tell there's a decrease there?
Yes, I can see.
So
that.
it's pretty smooth. It's not too bumpy. Like I thought it might actually be bumpier than what it is.
How come there's only decrease on one end?
It's both ends. I think it's because it's. That's one.
Oh, okay. Because the angle is sharper on one side.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit sharper on this one, on this side for some reason. Even though I'm doing the same thing on both sides.
The same.
I don't know if it's just because
you can always like block the hell out of it. Just
I don't think it's a huge difference. Like I think if I do that,
if you pull on it,
yeah,
okay.
So basically,
this is top of the sleeve.
So yeah, this is the top of the sleeve. It'll be like this, and it'll be like this. And because it's boxy, you know, the sleeve doesn't start up here. It starts
all the way down there.
Starts a little bit down, yeah.
And the sleeves aren't very long.
No, yeah, it's not a full sleeve, so they're not very long. So this length, or you know, the number of rows I've done, is how many I've penciled in. So I did that, and then I started the second one, just so that I knew that they'd actually turn out the same. So this one's almost the same size as the other one, and I think it's working. So I'll just go back and forth until the sleeves are done. So I'm getting there, because once I've got the sleeves done, then comes the knitting.
So wait, you've done the front too? Because I think the last time you didn't have a front. It was only the back.
I've got the front panels.
There you go.
I mean, they're just rectangles. Pretty boring. Yeah, so I got the front panels, 2 front panels, 1 big back panel, starts of 2 sleeves, and I definitely have enough yarn to do both of the sleeves. And then I don't know. And then I'll probably need to buy at least 1 ball of at least the mohair. If not more. Plus the other yarn as well, because I'm holding the 2 together. So yeah, but I don't know that the knitting will necessarily use less yarn, because I think it's I'm trying to think, because the actual stitch pattern for the crochet is quite open, so it's not like it's just all single crochet.
Do you have the needles for?
I don't. And I'm a bit like, I don't know what to buy. I don't know, like, what to do. I just don't know. There aren't any stores open.
Are they knitted separately and then sewn on, or are you picking up stitches?
So you can see there's the main bit of knitting is the sort of cowl. What would you call that?
Yeah, it's kind of like a shawl collar.
Yeah, shawl collar. So there's a Kitchener stitch here in the middle. I don't know how to do that. So does that mean they're knitted as 2 pieces?
It's knitted from the bottom up, and then you graft.
Okay. So that's how that's the main bit of knitting, and then there's a little bit of rib at the bottom of the hem and the cuffs.
I see.
It says to use a.
Well, if it's knit separately, then the garment.
It doesn't matter
It doesn't matter that.
That is true. Oh yeah. Okay. So I don't need to.
Because you're knitting it until it's a certain
length.
Height.
Yeah. Yeah. Particularly because I didn't actually use the row measure, like.
Yeah. So I would block the body. And then when you're knitting it, when you think you're about there, I would block the knitting.
Yeah.
To see if it's the
about
right height.
No, that makes sense. And yeah, now that you've said that, it doesn't really, yeah, it shouldn't matter what size knitting needles I get, just as long as it works with the yarn. So I'll just go with, I think they've actually used a different size knitting needle for the rib.
Yeah, usually you go down a size for the rib.
Okay, so yeah, I think it says 3mm.
So yeah, so at least you don't have to get like really, really long needles.
Yeah, no.
Because I was thinking that it was done, attached.
Oh,
So,
yeah, no.
but then
Well,
that
I
wouldn't
just get,
make
because I
sense, 'cause
obviously
then the
have all my
stitches go the wrong way.
cables. So I was just going to get things that works with the cables.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
But I don't know. I don't knit. I think because the only knitting needles I do have, other than the big chunky wood ones, is the ones that you gave me that went on the cables for the pussy hat. Those are the only knitting needles I have.
And that's not the right size.
No, it's too big.
I think Knit Pros might fit those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Are they?
Or you can just buy.
Are they mostly like interchangeable? Because I know like some of them.
No, they're not.
Have male. The male and female parts are opposite.
Yeah.
But if
like
they're
the
not
chugga
opposite,
ones
then
are
will they work? In terms of the size?
I don't know.
I feel like I kind of just want to wait until the shops are open. I can actually just go into a shop and ask somebody, are these going to work?
Or you can order them and send them back.
Yeah, but then you have to pay for shipping. And,
Do you have to pay for shipping if it was Amazon?
No, but I actually am pretty good about not ordering off Amazon too often. I try and buy from smaller places when I can. And especially with stuff like knitting stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because,
there's so many shops around, here.
There are, but
within walking distance of me.
But they're not open
right now. Not right now.
Are they doing pickup online?
I think click and collect they're going to be allowing in the next week or so.
What I was thinking about that the other day when we were talking about in the UK where the only thing basically are open are grocery stores and restaurants for takeout, right? Only? Takeaway, and nothing else is open?
Pharmacies?
Not even pharmacies, okay. So I don't understand how these shop owners are surviving this if they can't even do. Are they doing internet orders maybe?
Yeah, regular online shopping is fine. It's just shopping. For a while they were letting people order and then you could go to the shop and pick it up. So they stopped doing that for a while, at least in Scotland. But they're going to allow that again. As we're recording it now, it's not allowed, but I think in the next few days they're going to start re-allowing that.
Okay. Well, here everything's open. Mm-hmm. Everything's open, but certain shops, but it's still limited capacity, and some shops are only doing pickup, curbside pickup, stuff like that. It depends on the independent shops and stuff like that. But all the major chains, big box stores, they're all open. Completely open.
Sam and I were watching MasterChef, and the contestants were doing the challenge where they actually go to a restaurant and are taught by a real chef like how to make certain dishes. And just like it was filmed during COVID, like I think when things were slightly open but not as locked down as it is now. So the chefs, the contestants, were making the food not for regular customers but for staff of the restaurant. But even just watching the staff sat down at the restaurant and eating like the nicely plated food, I just went, oh, I miss restaurants.
Poor baby.
Poor a lot of people. But yeah, so that's really the only project news I have.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so the Archive KCAL runs until the end of the month, and you still have time to post on Instagram with the hashtag or post on Ravelry, and you might win the prize, which is a Keep Calm and Carry yarn mug and a skein of yarn.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have it with me. I have to record in a different room. There's an empty bed over there. I don't know if you can I can see it, but I don't know, depending on how you crop it. Because this is the spare room that Madeline will be sleeping in when she comes in May. Your dad is home, so I didn't want to have to like lock him in the bedroom somewhere while I'm recording.
Yeah, and it's a weekday.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I forget. So, yeah, not a lot going on here.
No, I have a favorite thing. It's really random.
You have a new favorite thing?
It's have you heard of the game Among Us?
Yes.
Have you played it?
No, I saw the video of somebody playing it. Madeline showed me. And I don't really understand. No, I think she tried to I don't know, but she tried to show it to me. I was like, I don't really get it.
It's so yeah, it's a computer game for people who don't know. You can also get it on your phone. But the reason it's my favorite thing at the moment is because we're doing it every Saturday with a group of friends. Like, that's the thing that we do to socialize, because none of us can actually socialize. And yeah, so it's a game where you play these little spacemen on a spaceship, or, you know, in a little location. And you have this list of tasks to do, and you have to run around the spaceship, and you do these little tasks, and they're really small tasks, really intuitive. Like, a lot of them is just like click a button or click a button at the right time. Kind of menial stuff. But also the while, one or two of your crewmates is not doing tasks, they're trying to kill you. And so while you're doing your tasks, somebody's secretly going around killing you. And so every time you find a dead body or you call an emergency meeting, you have a discussion about who you think the imposter is, and then you can vote. And if, you know, they get the most votes, and they get kicked off the ship, and it ends either when the imposters kill enough people, or you figure out who the imposters are and kick them off, or you finish all your tasks. And it's quite funny because, like, you know, obviously if you're the imposter, and we play it so that we're actually on a call, so we talk to each other.
So you and Sam play on different
We're sat next to each other, but we just don't show each other our screens. And we're very quiet. We try not to give anything away, you know. But yeah, so you're doing your tasks in silence, and then as soon as like a dead body is found, and you all come together and talk about it, and we talk about it, you know, over a video call. And, you know, so we're all saying like, oh, I was doing this and I was doing that, and somebody will say something and like, oh, I think it's this person because they were suspiciously doing this, and they'll defend themselves and lie about things and throw people under the bus, and it's quite funny. But I didn't realize AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, it was at the video that Madeline showed you. Yeah, because she played it and live streamed it as part of I don't know if it was a campaign sort of thing, but
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, because the reason I didn't realize at the time that she'd done it, I think it was back in October, or maybe even before that, I don't know. We were in our like WhatsApp chat, and I wanted to send an Among Us themed GIF, and so I searched Among Us, and I saw her face, and I was like, wait, what? And then I had to Google, like, did she actually do that?
That was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So, are you on a video call the whole entire time you're playing, or you only like do the video call in between?
So with this group of people, we will be on the video call the whole time, and then we're just silent while we're playing until we come together. But so Sam plays with a different group of people, and they do it on Discord. So with theirs, they're just on an audio basically meet call, and then they mute themselves when they're playing, and then unmute to talk. It's
funny because Madeline had mentioned it, and she was like, "Yeah, Sam really likes to play that game." Oh. So you must have been talking to her about it.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it to her. But the thing is, so the original group of people that he plays with, that's when I learned how to play it as well. They, you know, our friends Claire and Ben in Oslo asked us if we wanted to play. And so we played. And oh my God, the first few times I had to be the imposter and go around and kill people, my heart was beating clear out of my chest. Like, oh my God, I can't do this. I was so bad at it, so nervous. I just, like, there were times where if I, like, you know, I was the imposter a couple times, and then the third time was just like, okay, this is too much. I have to stop playing after this, because like I actually, like, my chest hurts. Like I can't do this anymore. I can't bear it. And I've gotten better at it. I'm less nervous about it. I think the group that we play over video are a little more casual about it, so I get less nervous. So that's my favorite thing.
That's funny. Well, I do have something, a book I just listened to, and it's called The Last Boat Out of Shanghai, and there's some parallels between these stories and our own family's stories, and it's by Helen Zia, Z-I-A. I didn't realize this, but my dad's family was actually in Shanghai during that time, trying to escape the country, and the book is about 4 different Shanghainese families. My family is not from Shanghai. They just happened to be there when everything went to crap. Mm-hmm. And so they had mentioned a boat that a few boats that sank. They were carrying too many people who sank, and some of them were actually, they hit not landmines, just whatever, water mines. They're not landmines, or they're water mines.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just mines. So I didn't know this, but recently my dad was telling this story that when because he was younger, he was still a child when this all happened. They had tickets to go on a boat, but he got really sick. He had a high fever. He was really sick, and his family decided to wait for the next boat and not go on the boat. That boat sank.
Oh wow!
So my
do you know which boat it was, or do you just know that it sank?
I don't know which boat it was. I just know that it was one of the boats that sank. He, as I said, he was a child, so I don't know that he knew which boat it was. Right. So anyway, there's some parallels. Most the story, the people, the main characters are in their 20s when this all happened, or late teenage years, where they're adults. So so it's definitely a different story than our families, because your grandparents and my parents were they were still children. So one thing I liked about this book, not only the fact that this was a story that hasn't been told before, and it came out in 2019.
Nonfiction.
It's nonfiction, yes, and but I listened to it as an audiobook, and the narrator is also Chinese American, and she pronounces the words correctly. So that is why I really, really like this, because it's very frustrating for me to listen to books when there's a Chinese character or something, and all of a sudden the narrator will start speaking in a fake Chinese accent.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's like, well, when sometimes the character is Chinese American or Japanese American, whatever, Asian American, why would they speak with an accent? They should be speaking whatever American accent that it's taking place. So that frustrates me to no end. And so anyway, Nancy, shoot, I forget who the narrator is. Nancy Wu, I think, maybe. But she does a good job. She does a really good job pronouncing, as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm fake Chinese, but as far as I can tell, all her pronunciations are spot on. So yeah, that was my favorite thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a consideration for choosing somebody to read it. I recognize the name of the author because I have had this book on one of my to read lists and just have never actually read it. And she wrote it. It's Asian American Dreams: The Emergence of an American People, which was published way back in 2000. But
she's written quite a bit, quite A lot of books.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I thought when you first mentioned it that it was a novel, and then when I realized who the author was, and yeah, that's when I realized it must be nonfiction.
Yeah. So that's my favorite thing this time around.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay, well, this episode's been high on the chat.
Another Babblecast.
Yeah. Well, will we say goodbye?
Sure.
Okay. Spiel time. You can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. Our Instagram is also kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can subscribe and like and comment and rate the podcast on iTunes, on YouTube, or wherever else you stream your podcasts. You can also join the Ravelry group. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the groups tab. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.